Namaskar, I am Rajendra Salokhe. Here I am presenting a game played between women world champion Judit Polgar and male chess champion, world champion Vishwanathan Aanand. This game is played in Caro Kann defense. Caro Kann defense starts with e4 c6 and is supposed to have a lot of traps into it. Now here Judit Polgar is playing white and Vishwanathan Aanand is playing black. We'll just flip the board so that we observe from the side of the black, and the next obvious move is d4 d5 and knight c3 Judit Polgar plays. Now when I analyze through computer, actually computer says this is a big move, so computer recommends e5, which is advanced variation of Caro Kann. But even this is a very nice move in fact. Then d cross e4 and knight cross e4. Now I've seen a lot of traps in the Caro Kann, and mainly they arise from knight coming to this position e4. So it's very dangerous, and black should try to remove this knight from here. So Vishwanathan Aanand plays knight to d7. Now at first sight we'll feel that this is blocking the bishop on c8, blocking the diagonal of the bishop. But he wants what Aanand wants to achieve is to remove this knight by, say, placing the g8 knight on f6 and removing this. So Judit supports the knight with bishop at d3, and Aanand plays knight to f6. Judit plays knight to f3 and he crosses the knight cross e4, bishop cross e4, knight to f6. So he has brought the another knight at f6, so having a strong castle here. But see now how Judit Polgar observes some games of her, and she plays very intelligently. It is a very pleasant and fun to watch Judit playing. And she had a solid attack here on Aanand, but when Aanand started attacking, he just started and finished like that. Now bishop c takes back to d3 because there is a threat. In fact, the bishop is unsupported. Knight can capture. So bishop goes back. Then Vishwanath Aanand plays bishop g4. This is a common also move in most of the games, to pin the knight to queen. Achieves two things: knight cannot move because it's pinned, and here you cannot move the queen also, because then if bishop captures the knight, then you have to capture with g2 pawn and thus breaking your castle. So she plays bishop to e3 Just developing the bishop. Anand plays e6. Then Caro Kann and some other games it is mostly in Caro Kann it is important that first you take this bishop out and then you lift this pawn up, because otherwise if you lift this pawn up, then this f8 black bishop is blocked. Sorry, not that this white bishop on the white square gets blocked. If so, first the bishop is moved and then this pawn is lifted up. Now Anand has developed this bishop on the diagonal and he can give a check from here, b4. So Judit blocks the position by playing c3. Then Anand plays bishop to d6, just moving it out and making way for the castle. Judit plays h3 and threatens this bishop. This is also common moves in most of the games. Bishop goes to h5. Now she brings queen to e2, creating a battery this side. Creating a battery, that is bishop and queen on the same diagonal, but to queen's side she has created the battery. So he puts queen to a5, pinning this pawn, c3, absolute pin. Judit moves pawn to a4 so that the queen does not move further. Anand castles. Then Judit plays queen to c2, so changing the direction of the battery to here, this pawn. Presently she cannot capture because the knight is there, and also there is no point capturing this pawn also. That is not a real sort of check, only that you remove one pawn of the castle. So she has changed the direction. She keeps now changing, you will observe, keeps changing the direction of the battery. But this computer recommends a castle instead of this. We'll go further. Now since the queen has moved, as I explained you earlier, Anand captures his bishop. Now there is a dent in your castle. She captures by g pawn, g cross f3, and this line is semi-open now. So it takes the queen to h5. Now he has to defend the castle. Now her attacks seems to be from left side on the castle, and she has so far not castled. So she longs castle it. So she castled this side, so she is free to attack on the left side of Anand. Now plays knight to d5, probably threatening this bishop, because now her army is very dangerous, this bishop and rooks, and so as far as possible that should be removed. Moves king to b1, just removes from this diagonal, keeps the king in a much safe place. Anand plays b5 and threatens this. Now he will like to open these piles here to attack. She plays rook to g1, threatening this pawn. Now normally the attack from at the left side is like this. This bishop will be taken here. If this queen is not there, then bishop will go to h6. You cannot capture the bishop with the pawn because that pawn is pinned here. Now he plays f6 because there is a possibility of this rook coming to g5. Otherwise also it can come with the support of the bishop, but another defense he has provided. Pawn is captured here. See, a cross b5, c cross b5, bishop goes to c1, back, rook to b8. Now he's trying to attacking this, trying to attack this file. Queen goes to e2, and she shifts the battery here again now, so that she can capture this pawn. There are two capturers and one defender only, rook. Moves rook to e8. So it keeps it below the queen. Supposing this pawn is removed, then there is a direct attack on the queen. You have to consider the possibility of this file getting open. Queen goes to e4. Again he makes it the reverse battery, queen forward and bishop backward. And supposing she gets a chance to capture this g7, then that will be a real check. So Anand moves his king to same position h8. Then she moves the pawn to h4, just blocking the movement of the queen. Anand threatens with f5 and also blocking this battery, both queen and bishop. So queen goes to e2. Again the battery is here attacking this pawn, b5. Anand plays f7, queen to f7. So just reinforcing this pawn g7. Now Judit moves rook to g2. Her intention is to move this another rook from h1 to g1 and attack with the rook. So one battery she has already here, since she wants to have a double rook also. Here actually computer recommends h5. The computer is always recommending h5 for many moves. Computer thinks that this should be moved further. Bishop goes to f4. Now Anand is directly attacking this bishop. Now wants to remove this bishop. One attacking piece there. Actually here also computer recommends e5, pawn to be taken up, this pawn. But Anand has played f4. Now she doubles up the rooks here. Rooks to g1. Anand reinforces this pawn again with this rook, placing it below the pawn g8. Bishop she takes to e3. Queen goes to d7. Queen is she moves the queen to d2 again, creating a battery with this black bishop. Now she can capture this bishop on f4. Again here computer recommends h5. So it takes the bishop back to d6. Then white bishop goes to c2. Now queen is brought to b7. Now there is an attack on this with queen and rook on b file. It wants to attack from here now. Anand. Now attack of Anand starts now. Brings bishop to g5. This is actually blocking the rooks here. She has some other intention. Anand plays b4. So she plays, does not capture but c4. Anand pushes the pawn forward to b3. She moves the bishop to d3. Anand plays bishop to b4, threatening the queen. Queen moves to e2. Brings his queen here. Now it is simple. If the queen goes to a2 here, then gives a check, and it will be difficult for Judith. She brings the bishop here. Now the typical attack. If she captures with the rook, then this pawn has got three attackers here, 1, 2 and 3. But Anand is not worried about that attack. Actually, instead of this move, computer recommends to move the king to c1 so that king is safe. Now see the attack by Anand now. He attacks with the knight. Knight to c3 check. B takes c3 knight. Bishop cross c3. King to c1. Now instead computer also here recommends queen and sacrifice the queen here. Now moves queen to a3 and check. Computer now also here recommends check with the pawn, but he has given check with the queen. King moves to d1, queen to a1 check, bishop to c1, bring the bishop in between, b2 and threat to bishop. Moves queen to e3 to support the bishop here. Bishop to d4. Bishop cross d4 and threatens the queen here. If it captures, then queen captures the bishop. So he moves the bishop to d2. Then he crosses with the bishop with the pawn. Actually here computer suggests that he should bring the bishop here. Computer suggests this move, but okay, is captured. Queen cross c1 and queen to a2, and here actually Judith resigned. They analyze the moves through computer. So about 10-15 moves are required to checkmate, but that Judith realized that there will be a checkmate and she resigned here. So we'll just see what moves are suggested by the computer. Computer has always been suggesting h5, so he is doing this now. Rook to d8. So if he removes the bishop here, then this will be pinned. Pinned means in fact this d3 bishop will go. King to e1, bishop b2, queen to c2, knight cross d3. This is very intelligent move, because supposing this rook is hanging, supposing he captures the rook, then see what happens is captures, bishop c3 check, queen cross c3, and rook to b1 check, queen to c1, and queen goes. So we'll go back to position where this rook was placed here. Judit moves the king to f1, then rook threatens the queen, rook to c3, queen cross c3, because otherwise the checkmate will take place. Bishop cross c3, rook to s2. This is to make way to the king to go out. Otherwise the queen comes to a1, then it will be almost checkmate. Bishop to d4, rook to g5, rook to b1 and check, king to g2, queen captures f2 check, king to h3, queen captures f3, king to h4, bishop f2 check, rook cross f2, rook to h1 check, rook to s2, and rook cross s2 and mate. So this way the mate will take place. So this is the game I also understood, and I think I have narrated well. Thank you very much. Keep watching.